lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. Brothers and sisters, that's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob.
Shut the fuck up. So, hi guys, I know I've been gone for a long time. I've been going through a lot of personal things, but I'm back and I wanted to talk to you guys about some situations that I noticed were very important. So I haven't been live really lately because of the personal things I've been going through. But recently it's come to my attention that the media is not really talking about these issues, and the personal issues I've been going through. It's unfair of me to sit back and not say a word, especially when everybody else is staying silent about the situations too, because I do have a platform, and I think it's very irresponsible of me to not talk about the issues that need to be talked about. For instance, we do believe all lives matter, and that's where I say, and I hope that you guys mean it too, but a lot of you guys say all lives matter, I feel like only in response to Black Lives Matter. Now, I say all lives matter because I really believe that in my heart. I believe in my world. I believe in my every being that all lives do matter. So any kind of hate is wrong that we experience or that we see. So I think that's important to come on and talk about everybody's names and talk about every single person who's been wrongfully attacked for things like what you just saw with Nick Cannon. So Nick Cannon was perpetuating fear, and he's trying to insinuate that melanin comes with compassion. He said melanin comes with compassion, and since we lack melanin, white people lack compassion, and that we just only know how to rape and pillage and steal and be evil. But first of all, just stop in the beginning. Melanin is not attached to the neurons that go off in your brain, so that's literally false. That's literally false. Compassion doesn't come with melanin. Melanin comes from a fucking good tan, bitch. Like, like melanin cells are not connected to the neurological activity in the brain. So no, it is not connected. And he is literally spreading lies when he says that. And it's funny to me how he says that white people are savage when white people invented the modern world. If it wasn't for white people, we wouldn't have anything modern like cities and societies. And the abolitionist movement started in Europe with white people, which is the movement that stopped slavery all around the world. White people literally are the reason why we don't have slaves in every single culture. White people are literally why you have indoor plumbing, bitch. Like, don't get mad at white people for inventing the fucking modern world that you take advantage of, that you don't know how to have without being savage. So, and no, it's not being racist. That's another fact. So let's get off that, because the Nick Cannon story kind of pisses me off. But the Nick Cannon story is really important to what's going on now, because it's what is fueling this hate that's going all around America, and people are dying because of it. It happened really personally to me with my mother. My mother's not dead, thank God. I actually am very, very grateful that my mother was not one of the statistics that I'm about to name right now. But my mother was stabbed in the neck, in the face, and the head after being asked if she's white, because she looks white. So, by the way, my mom's not even white. But so the fact that she looks white, she got stabbed in the neck, in the head, and in the face. They missed her jugular by about 1 inch. So mom's alive today, so I can't really complain too much on that situation. But there are two people that everybody's ignoring in the media right now. One of them was a good friend of mine. His name is Jesse. So Jesse and me, we talked on Facebook here and there a lot. And Jesse Owsley is not what he's known for on Facebook. He's actually known as Jesse Martin. We actually related on the fact that we had the same last name. So we talked about that, and we talked about our both of our appreciation and both of our support of Donald J. Trump. And Jesse's a really fun-loving, awesome guy who has he's strong and opinionated, yes, but at the same time he's very sweet and very nice. Well, Jesse was killed allegedly for wearing a Donald Trump hat by two black men that are supporters of Black Lives Matter. Now, social media has given us a way to research on our own, and we don't have to rely on the media any longer. When the media wants to give us the facts, we oftentimes find that they are not factual. Now, just like I did with the guy who stabbed my mother, I went and I researched the people who killed Jesse. Now, the people who killed Jesse have not been arrested. Nobody's been arrested for Jesse Osley's death and his murder. Although the girl who let him call 911 or let him call his cousin to take him to the hospital was the girlfriend of one of the guys who was killing him. Now, the reason why they don't have any arrests is because they said they don't know who killed him. Let that sink in. They don't know who killed him, yet they know the girlfriend of the guy who killed him. Like, that's crazy. But at any rate, if we are going to stay here, and I'm going to pull the leftist move right now, if we're going to stay here and say we stick up for minorities, if we march for gay people, if we march for Hispanic people, if we march for minorities, this was a Latino who was also LGBT. He did support Donald Trump, and allegedly the attack happened over a hat, but that's alleged. So there are a lot of things going on with this story. So let's go ahead and go through and siphon through it quickly. So here's the story right here, guys. So here's the story right here. Let me go ahead and pull this up a little more. Okay, so this is Jesse right here. Jesse Osley's dad confirmed son wore MAGA hat during fatal assault. His dad confirmed it, apparently. So the mainstream and LGBT media remain completely silent on the assault and death of a gay Trump supporter from Rhode Island. Jesse Osley, 37, was allegedly assaulted in Fall River, Massachusetts on July 8th and later died from his injuries sustained. Over the weekend, social media reports flooded in that Osley had been assaulted because he was wearing a baseball hat in support of President Donald Trump. Immediately after Center TV News reached out to the Fall River Police Department, Police Chief Jeff Cardoza sent a statement to another news outlet, which I also read that one, but it sounds like bullshit. To another news outlet, the local Fall River Reporter, which according to a search had not previously reported on Osley's death, Cardoza stated in speaking with the detectives involved in the investigation, there was never any mention or evidence of any kind that this involved a MAGA hat. Not sure where the information came from. Well, the fact that they're saying not sure where that kind of information would even come from is insane to me. Because if you know anything about this boy, then you know he's never seen without his Trump hat. He has so many Trump hats, it's insane. This boy always wears a Trump hat. Like, in fact, Jesse, like, rest in peace, Jesse. I'm sorry, I'm gonna out you, bitch, because gay people, we don't out each other on this aspect. But Jesse's balding on top. Like, Jesse had like balding. He's balding a little bit on top. His hair's thinning, whatever. So he wore hats every single day. Every single day. And I've never seen him outside of anything. I've never seen him wear anything other than Trump hats. He changes it out. There's red ones he wears. He wears blue ones. He has camel ones. He wears a lot of different kind of hats, but he always wears a fucking Trump hat no matter what. No matter what. And the fact that they did not even, he didn't die at the scene of the crime. In fact, he left the scene of the crime. And me, as somebody who went to a Bernie rally and had my hat stolen from me, the chances of him leaving the hat there at the scene of the crime is very small, slim to none. The people who hate Donald Trump will take that hat. What they do with those hats, I don't know. Like, what do they actually do with those hats? Everybody they steal them and they run. Where do they run to? Like, is there like a magic hat box? They put them all in. They're all like piling up. Is there like a magic closet or something? Who knows? All I know is that Jesse Osteen died without a hat on. And his hat was not seen in the crime, but neither was he. So let's get back into this as they're trying to not let it be what it actually is. So now Owsley's father is speaking out to confirm that his son was wearing a hat in support of President Donald J. Trump at the time of the assault. Speaking to activist and Gays for Trump founder Pete Boykin, Owsley's father wrote, "I can tell you certain things about what happened to my son, but I can't say too much because of the investigation. Let me start by saying Jesse was a huge Trump supporter and he is gay. Jesse did leave the hospital that night and was beaten, and he did have a MAGA hat on. He died later at his cousin's house where the paramedics performed CPR and was pronounced dead at Rhode Island Hospital. All the information in between and under is investigation pending results from the autopsy. From what I can tell you, he had head and chest trauma from being stomped on. Oh God. Jesse was a great young man who loved life and didn't deserve to die this way. As somebody who's lost somebody in their family, that's really hard to hear, let alone I can just imagine what that father had to feel like saying that. He suffered head and body injuries from being stomped on. That's insane. But I'll tell you one thing. The media is not spreading this around anywhere. The media is not talking about him. So I think it's our responsibility to talk about these people as if you have any kind of platform, if you have 2 people that watch your live videos, speak about this. Because I'm not doing this to show that the left is hypocritical, but holy shit, the left is hypocritical. If you're on the left and you care about people's lives, like minorities, say something. A gay Latino was just killed, murdered, for simply having a difference of opinion. I shared this story to a lot of my friends on Facebook, and it's sad. I actually got some people that wrote back and said, don't fucking message me again. Don't message me Trump shit. This isn't about Trump. It doesn't matter what hat he was wearing. Even if he was wearing a Black Lives Matter hat, I would speak out. I do all the time. Everybody should be able to wear whatever the fuck they want and be fine. This is America. But the fact that this boy was murdered and the killers still have not been even arrested is beyond me. And the fact that the media is staying silent shows that they don't give a fuck about human lives. With my mom's situation, with my mom being stabbed for looking white, it showed me and proved to me that the Black Lives Matter movement is right about something. They're right when they say all of America is racist, but they're wrong when they say it's about them. We are racist. We're a very racist nation, and we hate white people. The next story I'm going to talk about, which is the last one I'll talk about, this one also is a white woman as well, who's a mother. Sorry, bitch, I live in California. Anyway, so this other white woman was also murdered for saying all lives matter. And her name is Jessica. Another name we need to talk about. So this is the story of Jessica. So this was from PJ Media. Last week, 24-year-old Jessica Dottie Whitaker was shot to death following an argument with Black Lives Matter supporters. According to her family, the Black Lives Matter supporters shouted Black Lives Matter at her and her group, to which they replied, all lives matter. After the group separated, Jessica was shot dead by the Black Lives Matter supporters. She leaves behind a 3-year-old son. So I'm going to cut off the camera so my voice doesn't get in the way too much. Or so it doesn't get in the way so it doesn't slow it down. So she shouldn't have lost her life. She got a 3-year-old son she loved dearly, said Jose Ramirez, which is her fiance, who was involved in the incident. According to Ramirez, he and the victim and 2 other people were hanging out along the canal when someone in their group used the slang version of the N-word. They said nigga, okay? I ain't afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to say a word because of my race. I can say whatever the fuck I want because I'm American. So they use the slang word of the N-word, which is nigga. The word prompted a confrontation by a group of strangers. Of course it did. During a brief argument, Ramirez claimed that the suspect's group shouted Black Lives Matter, and either Whitaker or someone in her group replied, all lives matter. Eventually, the 2 sides separated because they realized that they were both armed. The groups then fist bumped each other and walked away from each other. However, minutes later, Ramirez claims that the killer opened fire from a nearby bridge and ran away. It was squashed, and they went up the hill and left, we thought. But they were sitting on St. Clair waiting for us to come under the bridge. And that's when she got shot, Ramirez said. Jessica's father confirmed to the Daily Wire that Jessica had told the group All Lives Matter during the argument. Several local reports of the incident did not mention the Black Lives Matter connection to the murder. And that's the end of the article. This is exactly why I'm making this video, and this is what we need to talk about. The media didn't even mention the fact that the people who shot this woman was from Black Lives Matter, but they did mention that this woman said all lives matter. I want you guys to know, as Americans as a whole, whether you're left or right, doesn't matter. The media doesn't give a fuck about you. And if you're on the left and you think that they do care about you because you're black, because you're poor, because you're gay, because you're a leftist idiot, they're using you. You're just a pawn to them. The second you say one thing that they don't agree with, you could die and they wouldn't give a fuck. Here's your proof. Now, I say all lives matter because I believe in my heart all lives matter. That includes black people. That includes everybody. What the fuck about all don't you understand? But the fact that now we have 3 people in the past 3 weeks that were attacked, 2 of them dead. The third one, my mother. Thank God she's not dead. Like, thank fucking God. I could be sitting here right now talking to you about my mother being dead. She's alive because of 1 inch. Because of 1 inch. And these people are part of society. My mother's half black. My mother raised me in a very ethnic place. There's less white people at every school I went to in my life than any other race. So yeah, I saw racism growing up, and it wasn't on people of color. But I'm not complaining. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, racism, I'm a victim of. No, nobody's a victim, motherfucker. You're not a victim. Get up and get your life. People's opinions, fuck them. Don't listen to people's opinions about you. The law says we're equal. Nobody's fucking you up on the streets for being different. So go and live your life. But to be here now and ignoring racism as it happens, as you march and feel so passionate about ending racism in America, yet you ignore this, is insane to me. I always say it's beyond me. It's insane to me. I wish words could even describe how I feel right now about this. But I'm spending so much of my time and energy trying to keep from being angry at people who look different than myself. And I won't blame a whole race for these people's actions, but I will blame a whole movement, and I will blame an entire media corporation. A few of them, in fact. The media is getting us to be pinned against one another. The media is putting this false narrative of racism out there. So black people now have a green card, if you will, to act crazy. The media is mad that Donald Trump won presidency. So they are now trying to enrage the community in America that has the most crime, that has the most poverty, that has the most desperity. They're desperate to get out of there. The same box the Democrats have always put them in. Now the Democrats are going to those boxes and telling them to be mad at everybody else for it. If you are black and you're a supporter of Black Lives Matter, know this much. I support the saying. I support Black Lives Mattering. I'm aware that your communities have dwindled down to nothing. I'm aware that you have nothing left to lose. I'm aware that the crime rate and murder rate and within your community is the most disgusting numbers I've ever seen ever in history. And they outnumber every other race in America's problems by a lot. So if you want to change that, vote differently. The president has nothing to do with your personal neighborhoods. That's local and state governments only. Look at the common denominators, black people. Who runs your neighborhoods? Who runs your cities? Democrats. The same people telling you to hate white people. The same people telling you to fix your past, your racist past, which not your past, it's your racist past. It's your ancestors' racist past. They're telling you to act just like those people did on your ancestors. Wake up, Black people. Do better. Do better. And I'm white. Call it what you want, but I'm not. I'm not going to sit back anymore and be quiet about this. And if any of you are thinking right now to yourself, he's racist, then you aren't listening. I'm saying this because I care about all people, including Black people. And this message is to Black people, Black America. You owe it to yourselves. Like Donald Trump said, what do you have to lose? It may feel good when you punch somebody in the face because of maybe you heard the N-word called at you. It may feel good to hurt somebody who maybe wronged your brother, your sister for fucking saying something about your race, your color of skin. But that fucking feeling of good only lasts a second. And then you go to jail. Your criminal record will follow you for the rest of your life. But of course, the Democrats know this as they own most of the for-profit prisons in America. Fact. The same people who wrote the crime bill is the same person you want to vote for this November. Wake up, Black people. But how dare you get any kind of inclination to thinking that racism is going to fix racism? I'm on here speaking today because I've noticed nobody else is. Jesse Osley, Melissa Martin, and Jessica, what's her last name? Odie? Jessica Odie. Remember those names. If we're going to add names that have been wrongfully killed by people, then can we add those? In fact, I'm not asking your permission. We're adding those. My mother's color of skin is not important. The hat that Jesse was wearing, what it said was not important. What came out of that girl's mouth, Jessica, is not important. What's important is we have people in America being targeted by their race and by their political belief and being killed. That is the problem. Oh, look, it sounds a lot like the Black Lives Matter problem, doesn't it? We have a lot more in common than we have separating us. Stop letting our color of skin do so. Black people. White people now, I can say, most of us can see and know what it's actually like to be hated for the color of their skin, as we are hated every day online, every day in public. My mother was stabbed in the neck, in the face, and in the head. And that's something we all can relate on. We all have a mother. Maybe we can't relate on the fact that she was stabbed, but we can relate on the fact of what it feels like to love and have a mother. What would you do if it was your mom? Your mom. Your mommy, your mama, whatever you call her, your ma. We all got one. Jessica, she was also a mother of a 3-year-old. You know, when my sister was murdered years ago, she had 2 babies. One of them was 9 months old. The other one was 4. Sometimes I think that the 9-month-old was lucky enough to not have to remember my sister, so he won't be sitting there being depressed and crying and missing that person because maybe he just wouldn't know life with that person. And when that's a blessing, then we have problems on our hands. And this 3-year-old is now not going to have a mother or a dad. I don't think the dad's in the picture either, to be honest. And Jesse, his partner, that he's been with for many years, I can just imagine what he's going through right now. He's probably in so much pain. The reason why I'm bringing it back down to a real level with you guys and showing you guys the pain in the situations is because it's real. It's just as real as the pain that George Floyd's family felt. It's just as real as the pain as Ayanna Taylor's family felt. It's just as real as the pain as those officers' families felt when they were killed as well. We have a lot more in common in America than we have separating us. Yet we're letting the things that separate us be the deciding factors. I don't care if you're wearing blue. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're wearing a MAGA hat. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're gay. But we all have mothers. We all have families. We all have people that love us. And all of us on every side is saying that we're fighting for justice and love. Are you? Fucking are you? Because that's out everything. I feel like a lot of you say all lives matter only in response to Black Lives Matter. I feel like a lot of you say Black Lives Matter only when you feel like a white person did something. I feel like all of you cops out there think you can get away with shit. I think some of you cops are good people and you don't deserve to lose your lives. I think all of this is bullshit. And it doesn't take a rocket science to see that. Like, this is not fucking rocket science, guys. This is everyday life. And we all say we're for love. We all say we're for humanity. We all say we're for everybody. On both sides, they say this. But are you? Fucking are you? But we need to start finding commonalities. We get it. Everybody's different. Don't be shocked about that. But remember what brings us together as a society that made America strong. What made America strong was Americans, all Americans. And I'm a Republican. I'm sick of fucking having to sit here and feel like we're carrying the weight of America. What's left of it, what you guys haven't destroyed. Come back down to earth. We do have a big enemy in this country. And they're hurting us and they're killing us. And they are one group of people, yes. It's not a group that you can recognize by race. It's not a group that you can recognize by a hat. It's not a group that you can recognize by anything else other than power and money. Find the common denominators in every fucked up city in this country. Find out who's in charge. And that will be your answer. But anyways, guys, I think it's our moral responsibility to speak of these three amazing human beings who simply were living their lives when all of a sudden two of them lost their lives and one of them almost lost their life based on race and political affiliation. So yes, Black Lives Matter is right. America is very racist. America is very intolerant. But the media is wrong when they say it's racism against Black people and it's intolerance for Democrats. It's the Democrats being intolerant. It's the Black America that's going crazy. They're hurting people, killing their own, which is normal. I hate to say that, but fuck, bitch, it's normal. You don't give a fuck about it, so why should we? But I do care about that too, by the way. And no, I don't feel like I can't talk about it because I'm white. Sorry about it. But there are problems in this country we must address if we want things to change. But voting exactly the same and ignoring the actual perpetrators and ignoring the real problems will not do so. It's funny, actually. In Blythe, where my mom lives and where I'm from, on June 6th, 2 weeks before her stabbing, they posted an article in the paper of the Black Lives Matter march in Blythe. And the editor said, "This is the most beautiful sight I've seen. America getting together and standing against racism." 2 weeks later, a woman was targeted by her race and stabbed in the neck, in the face, and the head. And that same editor wrote her story. And her story is just speculation. Her article is tiny. Her article didn't matter to them. If he really felt so passionate about Americans getting together and standing against racism, wouldn't that make him feel some type of way when a woman in his own small little town, that same very town that he was proud to say he's from, wouldn't he feel some type of way knowing that the beautiful thing he saw went away within 2 weeks? And where's his stance against racism? He wrote the article about my mother. Didn't even mention her name. Said it was alleged. It's pathetic. This racism in this country needs to stop. And my last point I want to make is people on the right, are you ready? People on the left, do you want a fight? Do you want a war? Just ask for it. Say it. You're poking bears right now, and we're getting pissed. And again, people on the right, are you ready? I've been ready. I'm not saying we should go to war, but I'm saying at this fucking point, why the fuck not? Enough is enough. And the politicians I'm so sick of seeing politicians on the right sit in Congress saying, that's illegal, and then doing nothing about it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of seeing politicians on the left get away with everything. They're able to go on the news and lie straight to our faces. And we say, that's a lie, that's illegal. And nobody does anything. Like I said, if they want a war, let's do it. But stop burning down our country. If you want a war against white people, then do it. If you want a war against people on the right, then do it. But stop acting like this. But I do want to say one good thing. There's one light at the end of this very dark tunnel. And that is that they are ensuring Donald Trump's win. Because it was things like this that made me walk away from the left. And thousands of people are still walking away every day because of their behavior. So the only light at the end of this tunnel is you guys are ensuring that the left will never take over this country again. Vote locally, vote for the president, vote for people you feel be best fit in office, of the Green Party, of the Red Party, whatever. I can be bipartisan, but don't vote blue. You want change, you can create that change without having to even leave your house. You don't have to march for it. You don't have to go and petition for it. You don't have to even get online and say you want that. Just check the box differently and watch your world change around you. You want change? You, as an American citizen, have the power to do so. Vote differently. It starts locally, guys. Wherever you're located, it starts locally. Vote red. And watch your world change. Vote green even. Watch your world change. But the blue has put us underwater for too long. And they're pitting us against one another hardcore. Black people. Know that I was raised, and just like many other white people, we're raised to know racism is bad. We're not racist. This is not a racist society. I've never in my whole lifetime watched a person wearing a KKK outfit walk past me anywhere. In fact, I've only seen it in movies, and that's to be funny. It's a funny thing. That's how old and long ago it was. You don't have opportunities if you're black, though. They are right about that. You do not have opportunities. You're given the public school that's in your area because they want to keep you down. Well, stop letting them win. Vote red. Vote for school choice. Let black people get educations wherever the fuck they want to get educations and watch them blossom. Stop taking the fathers out of the home and watch them blossom. Marching and burning things down is not going to create the change you want. But if you vote red, you can vote school choice and go wherever you want to go. You don't have to be stuck in those neighborhoods any longer if you vote red. And that's a fact. Think about the many lives that have been lost from every race. Think about the many, many lives that have been lost recently that nobody gives a fuck about. You can't pick and choose when you want to love people and be humane. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let you guys go now. This is my story. I'm sticking to it. This video is not one of my serious ones. And if you guys don't want to speak about these three names yourselves, but you say all lives matter, then bitch, fight me. Like, I'm so sick of hearing all lives matter only in response to Black Lives Matter. Like, if you believe all lives matter, bitch, believe it all the time. Don't be a part-timer here. Be a full-timer or don't be anything at all. And I expect you guys to please talk about my mother's story, talk about Jesse's story, talk about Jessica's story. These people matter. These people matter. And the reasons why one of them didn't die, they almost lost their lives, and the reason why the other two did lose their lives is because of media portraying us people on the right, white people, to be bad people. Now we are dying. If you never spoke out before, now's the time. If you guys don't want to speak out on your own, that's fine. Share this video. Let people listen to it. Let people hear it. People need to be brought back down to earth, whether black, white, girl, guy, gay, straight. It doesn't fucking matter. Those things literally do not matter. Our law says we are equal. Our Constitution says we are equal. So by all means, we are equal. People will always have opinions about you, bitch. Not everybody's going to always like you. Somebody will always not like you for being black. Somebody will always will not like you for being white. Somebody will always not like you for being fat. Somebody will always not like you for being gay. Somebody will always will not like you for being skinny. Whatever the case may be, But again, the losses are equal. You're not getting beat up in the streets, and you can work wherever the fuck you want. So stop complaining. Stop focusing on everybody else's opinions of you. I think this is partly to blame also the social media. Because everybody right now, we care about what they think about us. We care about if they like us. We care about... Stop. Stop. Do you, boo-boo. You're American. And that's it. So I'm going to end this with all lives matter. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And like I said in every video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.